Yo, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Coach T's Business School of Hard Knocks, where business knowledge meets street knowledge. Listen, before we even get started, I already know you like the video. I already know you like the channel. So what I want you to do is I want you to like this video and I want you to subscribe to this channel. Like this video and subscribe to this channel. Send it to some of your friends. I mean, you're not the only person out there in your friend group out there that's trying to do some big stuff. I know you're not. You know what I'm saying? Share this thing, share the wealth, share the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But listen, here's the deal. We've already talked about sole proprietorships, and today we're about to step this thing up a notch. Today we're going to start talking about some partnerships. That's right. Today we're going to start talking about So you say, T, what's a partnership? What's a partnership? And basically what I'm going to tell you is a sole proprietorship and a partnership, they run parallel. They run parallel. They about what? What and what? What and what, as my grandmother used to say. They about what and what, baby. They about what and what. Yeah, they about what and what. So what does that really mean? I mean, it's not really a whole lot of difference in the way that they behave. The major difference is that with a sole proprietorship, you just had one person that was involved in that business. Whereas in a partnership, you've got 2, 3, 4, multiple people, or you can have a person in a business, or multiple people in a business, or multiple businesses and a person, or multiple persons and multiple persons and multiple businesses. You know, with a partnership, there's just a little bit more involved. The way that I like to look at it is, or the way that I like to describe it is this. You know, you got a single guy out there. He doing he partying every day. He doing what he do. And then you got a single lady out there, and she party. She do what she do. She hang out with her girls, and he hang out with his guys. But then all of a sudden they come together and they say, "Hey, I like you. I wanna work with you. I wanna live the rest of my life with you." Yeah. So basically they come together now. You know, they got to get to understand. Hey, his friends and her friends, and who would we party over here? Do we party over there? Do we party in the middle? You know, party over here, party over there, party everywhere. Same thing with a business. Pretty much a partnership is a marriage. If you got a business partner is your business marriage. I mean, hands down. That's what it is. You can ask anybody that's in a partnership, and I'm telling you, a business partnership is pretty much a marriage, because you got to talk to that person about what they want in the business, and they got to talk to you about what you want in the business. Sometimes y'all just don't have the same thing in common. You talking about what you want to do in the business. You know what I'm saying? You're like, nah, that ain't what I want to do. That's not my idea. What I want to get done. Well, how I want to do this thing. So, you know, that's pretty much what a business partnership is. Now you say, T, how do I actually get into this partnership? How did this partnership actually get started? Oh man, well, it becomes just a little bit more tricky than it was with the sole proprietorship. Just a little bit more tricky. Okay, so of course, if you remember with the sole proprietorship, you know, you can go to the county and you can get your DBA, your doing business as, and it's gonna cost you about $10, $25, $30, whatever it's gonna cost. You know, to set your DBA up, and everything runs through, all the income or all the profit runs through your individual tax returns, and you know it's all good. And your lawyer didn't necessarily say, hey, you need to set up a DBA or you need to set up an LLC. They just say, hey, let's just talk through this, and then I'll give you all the ins and outs, and you tell me what you need, what you think is probably best for you. Same thing with a partnership. Okay, you got 2, 3, 4, multiple people trying to start a business. Your CPA, your attorney, they're gonna pretty much tell you the same thing. They're gonna tell you the same thing. They're gonna give you all the options. They're gonna tell you everything there is about a sole proprietorship. They're gonna tell you everything there is about a partnership. They're gonna tell you everything there is about an LLC. There's everything there is about an LLP. They're gonna give you all this information. Okay, and they're gonna say, so now which one do you want? And really, you probably are not going to remember half of what they said in that 45-minute consult. What I'm telling you is, here is some good information that I'm giving to you for free. So when you do talk to your CPA, when you do talk to an attorney, when you do talk to your attorney, you're going in already with all your research done. So, with a partnership, similar to a sole proprietorship, but you're not going to the county, you're going to pretty much normally register your partnership with the state. Whatever state you're in, you're going to register your partnership with your state. Okay? So, The Secretary of State, whatever state you in, go to the Secretary of State's website. And you can probably download the Secretary of State. You probably can download the partnership application at the Secretary of State's site. When you do that, when you download that application, what you are going to do is you're going to get with your partner and you're going to create some bylaws. It could be as long as you want it to be or as short as you want it to be. But you're just going to write that into whatever your partnership agreement is. And you're going to fill that application out and you're going to send it back to the Secretary of State. Depending on what state you're in, you may be able to apply for your partnership online. Okay? And basically, once you apply online, probably in 2 or 3 days or maybe a week, they'll get back to you, and they'll send you the official paperwork saying the partnership, is registered with the state of whatever state you're in. If you fill the paperwork out and you send it back in, same scenario. They're going to send you the information back saying, hey, now you're officially registered with, the state of XYZ, and you are recognized as a partnership. So steps are just a little bit more stringent when you're talking about a partnership as opposed to the sole proprietorship, but it's still not as complicated as some of the other entities that we'll talk about later. Just as with a sole proprietorship, when the business makes money, and that is what we call profit, is split between the partners, whatever your portion is of that partner, whatever your portion of the profit is, can be rolled into your individual tax return. So then it's reported as additional income. Now, what that means is the business does not get taxed and you get taxed. There is not what we call double taxation. Each partner will receive their share of the profit. Their share of the profit will be reported back to the IRS as income, as additional income. So now you're not taxing the business and they ain't taxing the individual. That's very similar to how we discussed reporting on a sole proprietorship. Whatever money the business made, the profit went to the owner and it was reported as income. Okay, so that's very simple. Now you say, well, how much is it for the application? Again, let me give you the steps for this. You go to the Secretary of State's website, download the application, and typically the application cost is going to be somewhere, if I had to guess for a partnership, $75 to probably $100. Maybe $125 depending on what state you're in. $75 to $100, maybe $125 depending on what state you live in, okay, or what state you're registering your business in. Typically with a partnership, you're going to register a partnership within the state that you live, okay. Now, when you register a sole proprietorship, remember we used our social security number as the business identifier. With a partnership, there's another step you got to take, and that step is going to the IRS and getting what we call an EIN, or an employee identification number. An EIN, employer identification number. The employee identification number, for short, EIN, serves the same purpose as the social security number for the DBA. But now this is the number that's recognized for the business as opposed to your social security number, right? The way you get your EIN is you go to the irs.gov website. Go to irs.gov, download the form SS-4. That's right, download the form SS-4. SAM-4. When you download that form, you can fill it out. It's going to ask you what type of business entity you are. You are a partnership, so it'll be ABC Company as the name of the company. Whoever the partners are in the business, address, wherever the address is going to be, the business phone number, whatever type of business. Just fill out that form as they're asking you the questions. Fill that form out. Then call the IRS. Call the IRS, and I think the number to the IRS, I believe, is 1-800-1040 or 888-1040. Somewhere around there, it's something 1040. Call the IRS back. Give them that information. When you give them that information, at the end of the phone call, what they're going to do is they're going to give you the EIN. And there's a space up at the upper top right-hand corner where they want you to fill in the EIN. Now, once you put the EIN down there, that's just for your reference, so you'll remember what your EIN is. You don't have to send that back at the end of that phone call, and they've given you the number for giving you the EIN. You have it. You're good. You don't have to send it back in. That paperwork is just for you. I do believe that I spoke with a couple of people that I consulted in the past, and they actually completed the EIN filing online at the IRS website. They completed it online. The EIN is a free number. It's free. When you apply for it, it's a free filing. So you don't have to worry about an additional cost. It's a free filing because, trust me, the IRS is going to get theirs back on the backside. That's just what they do. I do believe you can apply online. I've never done it online. I've always downloaded the application, the SS4, the SAM-4. I completed it, made a phone call, completed all the information over the phone. They gave me my number. I put it in a notebook. I put the application in a filing notebook, and that was my number for life. Okay, so that's how you get your EIN. Now, with your partner, when the partnership makes money, when the business makes money, and the profit is distributed to the partners, whatever amount of money you make becomes income, and you have to report that as income. Okay, if you don't report that as income and your partner reports income, that's going to throw up a red flag to the IRS. And the one thing you don't want is the IRS knocking on your door, making a phone call to you saying, hey, I want to schedule an appointment with you. And then when they schedule an appointment, they don't schedule. They say, we'll be there. Okay, and it will behoove you to be there where they are. So you want to make sure that, you got all your reporting down. But bottom line is, the partnership application is very, very similar to the sole proprietorship application. The major difference again is, sole proprietorship, there's one person. Partnership, there are multiple entities, okay, involved in the creation of that business. If you have any questions, and you're trying to decide whether you want to create a partnership or a sole proprietorship or LLC or LLP or any other type of business entity, please feel free to go to my website, TerodRobertson.com, and schedule a 30-minute consult. I'm sure in 30 minutes we can determine what's the best entity you need to set your business up. Again, when you set up a partnership, it's going to cost you probably $75 to $100, maybe $125, depending on the state that you're in. I have heard of situations where people have been paying, $500-$600 to get their business entity created, and that's solely because they didn't want to read. I'm telling you, you do not have to pay $500 or $600 to have somebody, or even $300 to have somebody create your entity. Now, there's some entities out there that could cost $300 to create there's some entities out there that could be $300 to apply for the entity with the state, but you don't have to spend that kind of money, not unless you got a real complicated situation going on. And some situations it could be. I'm not going to tell you that in every situation that it's a bad situation to do that. Some situations, you could be spending that kind of money. So I'm not going to just make a blanket statement and say not do it, but for the most part, when you're talking about starting a new business, creating a new business, even turning your existing business into a different entity, it really shouldn't be that difficult. But again, look, what I want you to do is like this video, subscribe to this video. Well, like this video, subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Send it out there right now. Let everybody know that there's some free information out there. I mean, you never know who's going through a situation where they're like, I want to start a business, but I just don't know where to go.